Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, Ninjani.
I am super excited to be having this conversation with you. That's how I am. How are you
Me
doing?
too, me too. I'm chilling, the right man. I can't complain.
I can't.
I'm just chilling.
You're just chilling.
Just chilling.
Sure. Thank you for your time. Thank you that you are willing to do this live with me. A lot of people have been asking why Ntsiki Mazwai? Why are you interviewing Ntsiki Mazwai? Of all the people. And
Why not?
why not? And you know what's strange? And I
Why
was
not?
even telling my aunt, I was saying to her,
Mm,
I have a lot of things in common with you, so that is why I want to
mm.
talk to you. you know. But
Okay.
this conversation is really a chilled vibe. Um,
Yeah.
I've told you about the Redefining Beauty campaign. We're just a movement for
Yeah.
ladies. We just pro self-love. We pro body positivity. And I love hearing
Mm,
different stories from different women. You are a woman. You have a story that's probably, the public does not necessarily know about. There's a lot to you than your tweets, basically. That's what
yes.
this conversation is about. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. Most of you know who my wonderful guest is. She's a firecracker. She's a poet. She's a beat artist. She does so many things. She's an influencer. I don't care who says what about her. She's an influencer. I can even say she's top 10 an influencer in South Africa because there's a lot that she says. She tweets. She does not get official interviews, but whatever she says makes it to the paper and to trending news. So I welcome Miss Ntsiki Mazwai.
Thank you so much, Kamo. It's such a pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward to the conversation, and I hope abangani bakho bazokhuluma nathi in the comment section so that we can really
Have a dialogue.
engage and fight, and it's
Yeah.
cool even if we disagree.
Yeah. But this
Yeah.
conversation is mostly for you. Of course, there'll be comments. I'll take some questions, but I won't let them interrupt. It's mostly about you. So
Okay.
just to warm up
Okay.
and give other people a few seconds to join, we are officially on lockdown level 1. What's your feeling for that? What is it of significance to you?
Oh, is it? Are we? What? When was this announced? You know what, Mina? I haven't even. I isn't getting guys. Like, um, I'm monitoring my own universe in my own body and not being told by the government what's going on, whatever. But I will hear from you guys. Okay, what are we allowed to do? What are we not allowed to do? Okay, sharp. But I haven't really been holding on to media narrative in terms of this thing. So I'm guilty. So I don't even know what it means. So you're gonna have to tell me, can we party yet? What's happening with the curfew? Important things like that.
Do you hate the media that much, Nzi?
You know what? It's that there's no black narrative. We don't have a black media. So the entire media is controlled by Abelung, which means that even the black people who work there, there's a certain line that they can't cross. They can't celebrate. If they see the white people going, oh no, Ntsiki is racist, hey, she's such a racist. Then now, they can't be like, oh yeah, we love Ntsiki, they've got to back down. Now they've got to attack Ntsiki. So we're living in a system where we don't have black media to actually point out who our heroes are. That's why it's always so special when someone comes from the bottom, like Abo Pro Kid or Abo Zodwa Abantu or Babes Wotumo, where it's the people who are saying, no, we are saying this person. Because a lot of the time, it's the media that puts our celebrities on magazine covers, and gives them all the radio platforms, all the TV platforms. And it's almost done behind the scenes in a boardroom, Nabelung. So it's not really a representation of us. So that's why I can't take media seriously, because I know it platform Yabelung basically. So
Oh, so those are your reasons. You know,
Those are my reasons.
yeah, if one Googles you, one of the online, many of the reports, before they talk about your poetry or they talk about your beading, you know, the thing that's there is that you are a controversy queen, and that you are addicted to controversy. So are you addicted to controversy, Ntsiki?
Do you feel like I'm addicted to controversy, Kamo?
I'm not sure. You are always embroiled in a lot of things. You always stir up controversy. You're always at the center of it. So I'm wondering, are you really addicted or not?
You know what? I'm a poet, and the role of a poet in society is to speak and to point out what's happening in society and to reflect society back to itself. Yeah. So it's not that, because when I'm tweeting, I'm not tweeting about me or indaba zabantu. I'm talking about indaba zabantu as a community, you know, about gender-based violence. What are we going to do about the political situation? What are we going to do about the male and female energies at war? So because I'm a poet and it's a spiritual gift, it's words. And you know how they said in the beginning, it's the word. So it's a very powerful gift to have, where your words can just shake up things. So I suppose from the outside it might look controversial, but for me as Ntsiki, I'm just being myself. So we are having a conflict between the outside and me, because I'm like, no, but this is just me, and I'm not. You don't even have to pay attention to me, really. I mean, there's no. My Twitter account is not compulsory. It's not a compulsory subject in South Africa. You understand? Yeah. So like, yeah. So I'm also having to learn how to. I don't know if you know Weza Solange. She was on Big Brother. She's from Angola. Whenever I'm like abusing the gift of my words, she always comes to my DMs and is like, remember, don't forget not to abuse your gift, hey? You remember? So I am aware that sometimes I can be naughty with it, but
so you are
most of the time. I'm very intentional about the conversations and the dialogues I want to drive in the country, because there's a lot of issues in the country, and there's a lot of issues we're not facing, and the only way we're going to move forward is if we talk about issues. You know, we can't just keep quiet around such big issues. You know, even like the land issue, we can't keep quiet about it. We all have to sit down, black, white, orange, everybody. That's why we have to keep pounding at it. We have to have this conversation. We have to have the conversation about the judiciary, how the judiciary doesn't work for black people and for poor people, and especially not for women. So if you watch my tweets, they're mostly around politics, sexuality, and spirituality.
Yeah, I think I've noted that sort of narrative with you. But my question is, as a poet, do you see your gift as a burden sometimes? You know?
Yeah, all the time. You know, it's not nice to be the speaker of truth and have no friends. You know? It's not nice to make people uncomfortable, because I'm like, oh my God, I'm also just a human being, and oh flip, I didn't mean to. And because, you know, just with the words, I'll be poking or stabbing at something that I didn't even know I was poking and stabbing at. So it's difficult, because then I look insensitive, and then now I must carry this burden of having to unpack and introspect where was this coming from, and you know, so it is it is quite something to like mature into.
But you are always offending people. You are like always.
Always.
Is it partly your gift, or do you sometimes wake up and think, I'm going to offend somebody?
No, I've never done that. No, except, you know, I do notice that when I am PMSing, then I'm just like, take everybody, pop, 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 pop. But I just think that every woman does that. Every woman, when they're PMSing, is themselves and just shoots at everybody. So I think that that's just part of biology, but there is no intention of, oh, let's be malicious, let's be mean. It's just that the subjects are juicy. They really are juicy.
But you are aware that you piss off a lot of people on a daily basis, right?
But I also bring it back the next day and other people are pissed off, and the people who were pissed off yesterday are now on my side. So it's never the same people. It's just, and it's always been like that. It shifts and moves. Because if really I pissed off everybody, then why are we all engaging me? Like,
Because
right?
sometimes you speak the truth. Sometimes you just like me, you say the things that are on people's minds. You say the things that other people are very afraid of saying, and when you're like, shoot, 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 you know?
But then, but that's the poet. That's the poet in society. The poet is the one with the words. And I'm just like, we have to go back to our roots, even as Africans, because we had a space for personalities like me. We were called Imbongi Yomthonyama, which means that you're a poet that is so it's not actually you. You're a vehicle of what the elders are saying to society. So we had a space for this. That's why I'm so confused. And like, you guys are so confused because now you've got a media telling you what they are seeing from outside. But in actual black history, we had a place for this. We had the poet who would just be like, and kings would call the poet to be like, come and advise and so we know this, we know about spiritual gifts. So I think it's all part of that finding our identity crisis situation. Okay, let me shut up. Yeah.
Just on that, talking about
Yeah.
kingdoms, talking about kings and the role of
Yeah.
poets and stuff. Are you ever invited to like platforms of influence, like by government, by organizations that really need some of the information that you have, or are you invited to come, give input?
I think we're starting to get there. I think that there was apartheid where it kind of removed us from ourselves, right? And then we've had these 26 years of kind of confusion and who are we? But recently we're starting to have an awakening, especially during lockdown. I think Abantu Abamnyama started to realize that actually, how are we using our power? And are we actually using our power? And who's actually in control? And shouldn't Black people be coming together and creating our own industries and our own economies? And so these conversations are starting to happen. So a lot of people have always said to me, I'm ahead of my time. So I think that time is now coming where people are going to start engaging what I'm actually saying and the information I've got. Because I've always, when I was being about Kemet 10 years ago, the youth wasn't there yet at all. But now when we start talking about the gods and Nubia and Kemet, the new youth, I'm at 2000 are ready for that conversation. They're not my generation. My generation was the dumb ones who got brainwashed and who were put into private schools and traumatized but I'm at 2000 have got another kind of confidence where they want to reclaim the beautiful ones. We're bearing the beautiful ones basically now. So I think my time
is now.
I had to grow into it. It's now.
Well, I do. Most of the time when I see some of your things or the things you say, I always feel like perhaps you're born at the wrong time, right? Because people are not ready. People are really not ready for the conscious conversations that we ought to have. I mean, and the one thing that comes into mind that you and I mostly agree on is the hair debate, but we'll get to that right at the end. I want to talk about because my our movement as Redefining Beauty is mostly about body positivity. So I wanna pick your brain when it comes to that. To me, you seem like an unofficial ambassador, activist for body positivity. I mean, for your 40th, you were parading in a bikini and a sarong. So what's body positivity to you? Do you have a definition of body positivity?
You know, I just think that every woman is beautiful in their own way, and you find where your positive things are, and then you sit in that corner and you radiate in that corner, you know? So, yeah, that's what it is. You just find what it is that you love about yourself, and then you just focus on that.
Have you always been that way? Have you always loved yourself in that way?
Gosh, I perhaps. Because, you know, yeah, I think that I had a mom who kind of conscientized us and taught us about African beauty, and my breast milk was Black consciousness. So I didn't get caught up, you know. We weren't even allowed to relax our hair and put chemicals in it. I only started doing things like that when she died. It was like, yo, I get cook, let's see now, you can relax your hair, you know. But then
Yeah.
I realized that she was right, because then my hair's getting burnt and Panama Stadium, and you know.
Yeah.
So I think that my God was Beled, and we were just brought up in a home where we knew that being dark skinned was beautiful, having natural hair was beautiful, and so yeah, I think it was about the teachings at home about just self acceptance and Black identity.
It does come through, you know, but I'm just asking the questions to make sure, Uti, you know, you've never really dabbled. You've always strayed true to who you are, because that's what
Yeah.
it comes across as. And that's why I wanted to talk to you, because to me, you seem like someone who is very sure of self. You seem like, you know, you own your narrative. You say what you want, and you don't want people misconstruing anything. You know, you are clear on
Mm.
where you stand on a lot of things. And I'm just wondering, is it like that? And is it like that for all your siblings? Because you guys are so different, and I know you're very family oriented. You and your sisters are like different, but unique,
I
but
know.
you get along. Yeah?
Well, I am the official black sheep of the Mazwai clan.
Yeah.
So um, I imagine that they are very patient with me.
Yeah. They have to be.
Yeah, I was like, and, but also at the same time, we bring different things to each other, and we are all better seed. So our blood is the same blood. So, sizotin. But it's also siblings, you know, just
Yeah.
siblings,
Yeah.
even for everybody. You know, sibling
Yeah.
relationships, guys. It's up,
I do. I
down.
do.
Sometimes,
But
you
here's
know,
what I
you
want
hate
to
each other. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So do
Hey,
they
you got
ever
a
call
naughty
you
face
out?
tagging
Like,
me.
yeah?
You see, I see your naughty faces there.
I want to know, like for me, I on Facebook, I've got people that will like send me messages or even call me on some, take that down, remove that post. So do your siblings do that to you on some? No, 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 remove that. You're ruining us as a family.
Okay, it's the thing is that all the things, if you go back to my social media, you'll realize that there's nothing that's embarrassing or shameful. It's just that it's uncomfortable because I shift society with what I'm saying, but there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's just that it's overwhelming for them. The hate is also, they hate the hate. They don't like the hate. They absolutely hate it, and it stresses them, and it's just really a horrible experience for them
As well.
so I think we just, yeah, as well. I think it's difficult for them. I think it's very difficult for them. But I think that they also, you can't call out the truth and be like, put away the truth. Because now my baby bona, they're like, hey, fuck, she's right. Damn. And
Yeah.
then, you know, life moves on. So,
Yeah. Do they sometimes
yeah,
defend you?
yeah.
Do they feel the need to defend you and defend some of the things you say?
I'm sure behind the scenes, hey, kunzima, I'm quite sure of that. Um, but we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to look out for each other, you
Yeah.
know?
My last question on family and family ties.
Yeah.
I know you're a granny's girl. And go
Yeah.
that time. Does your granny know your social media persona? Does your granny know who to ubala in on social media?
Okay, well, my grand passed 3 months ago.
Oh,
So, yeah, I know, it
sorry.
was really, I know, eish, poor me. But she just like kind of laughed. She just kind of like, she was my dog, man. She was just like da 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 da. Da. Guys, leave Ntsiki. Ntsiki is my favorite. Ntsiki did this for me. Ntsiki, Ntsiki, Ntsiki. So we had a really unique relationship in that I think that was the angel that I had who kind of buffered everything else. Because
Yeah.
everybody is like, he was just like, hi, girls, just come over here. You know, like, da, da, da. And then we just be on our own missions. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I lied. My last question for real on the family front.
Yes,
Are you
because
like
I don't like
also
to talk that.
yeah. Are you
Yes.
also when you are with your family, is it like light vibes, you forget about social media? Or are you guys also at it in terms of talking about things that are happening? You
No,
guys get into debates.
no. We're family. Family time, is laughing time, is like my sisters are complete drama queens and they love the stage and they love singing and like so they'll like take the spotlight. I know everybody thinks it's me who's like that, but it's actually not.
Yeah.
And then I just chill. I love chilling with my niece. I've got a new niece, a 2-year-old niece.
Yeah.
So I enjoy being an aunt but no, family time is family time. They've learned not to just, we don't talk about social media. Social media and real life are two different things in my life. And I don't like them
Fantastic.
engaging because that's my work. That's my business. That's my office. I don't bother them about their offices. They must leave my office alone.
Fantastic. So
Yes.
sorry, let's get back into conversations around beauty and body positivity.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you sort of touched on it though, in terms of how you were raised,
Mm.
and for you to become this very confident person. I'm just curious to know your journey in terms of beauty, in terms of self-confidence. But I think you kind of mentioned it, but I want you to talk more about it. What gets you to be so confident? I mean, I've seen pictures of you showing your boobs, you showing I'm beautiful, I know it. I was told at home I'm beautiful, and therefore I'll post my pictures on Twitter because I know I'm beautiful.
It's so weird, that I don't think about things because I'm just like, it's just a body. For me, we're human spirits. And the body doesn't matter. It could have been any body, and it's just a body. Our problem comes in sexualizing and putting standards on what a body should look like, what's beauty, who's allowed to what. And I'm just like, no, guys, anybody's allowed to be whoever they want with their body. And then, yeah, you'll answer for your own body, I'll answer for my own body, and let's go. So the whole thing where we're all policing our bodies, Gucci, when like you can't. I'm just like, yo, I'm going to go under the waterfall, Ngingunu, and take my pictures and then post them, and then life goes on. Thank you. But if you
Yeah.
don't want to do that, cool.
Yeah. But most of us are so self-conscious, and probably it's because of paying attention to the media, of maybe following certain people, or trying to subscribe to European standards. But when now you are just above that, and you've been riding above that cloud, so maybe that's why you're not even self-conscious of any flab or any sagging boobs or anything like that.
Guys, we are all human bodies. Wonke umuntu has got something that's nice or that's not nice. And it's also funny when we all see our normal bodies because none of us have got perfect bodies. So if we all just became ourselves, then we'll be comfortable amongst each other. Because for me, that's another thing, is that when we put all on these things that we call beauty, it creates this competitive vibe, you know?
Yeah.
Immediately when you get into a space and people have done that, then you feel less than. But when you get into a space where people are just themselves, now where you can like, okay, I can just be myself in this space, and that's where you move forward from. And you know, that's a much nicer vibe.
I agree with you. I'm totally with that vibe and on that vibe. That is why I've started this movement, and I started this campaign in 2015 where I take pictures and we have this photo shoot, this annual photo shoot since 2015 where we just shoot in underwear. It's pretty much trying to do exactly what you're saying. Let's be in this space as women. Let's be naked. Let's see each other's flaws and still be cool and celebrate whatever that's beautiful. That's pretty much.
Let's make each other comfortable around each other and stop pretending. Because the pretending is the one that's making us competitive, and the pretending is a lie. So you get there with you've concealed all your blemishes, but that's a lie. Show me your blemishes so I can show you my blemishes. Then we can talk about, oh fuck, you know, my experience with blemishes has been like this, you know?
Yeah.
So now we're not meeting each other at soul to soul.
Yeah. Spot on. You know what? I would so be honored if you came to the shoot this year. Would you do me that honor?
Absolutely. I love being under, babes. I love it.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Well, this year's shoot is on the 31st of October. We usually host it in August in celebration of Women's Day and Women's Month. But you know, COVID and all of that, we've moved it to the 31st of October, right? So here's a question for you. You are like pretty much almost shamed and body shamed on a daily basis. Does it ever get to you?
I think that you allow whatever you want to get to you. I know what my body looks like, and I'm okay with it. If you have a problem with it, then that's your problem, and I cannot take on your problems because I've got my own problems that I've identified in my own life. But my body is not a problem for me. So if it's not a problem for me, then minang right. Oh yeah, guys, that's your business.
Sure. You know, like everything sounds too good to be true about you, man. I'm like,
how? But what do you mean? I've been sworn at to take enough to be true.
You're a unicorn. You are a unicorn.
Listen to you.
Before I go to my two last questions, I just want to read through some comments and, you know, make sure that I'm not skipping on important questions here.
Hugging me.
But I know that there was a lot of shout outs. Mule Mure was saying you've always been like this. So
that's my childhood friend, mind you. That's something. You ask her a few questions. She knows me from when I was small.
Okay, Mule, we trust you. A lot of people are agreeing with you. You, my sister, just waving. Okay, there are no questions, ladies. If you've got questions, okay, there's just a lot of love that's being showered to you. And then the wholehearted love is saying, so true. This is the kind of positivity that we need, loving ourselves as we are.
Yeah. I mean, Sizotini, guys.
Right?
If we don't love ourselves as we are, that is torture.
And this is all for
that's mental health torture. So I'm just gonna have to accept this that I've got, and then I get.
Queen Nosy is saying, let's celebrate the shells we are in as they are, because like you said, these are just shells. We are more spiritual.
It's just a shell. Exactly. We've all got the same organs, the same So, Agnanda, what really matters is the essence, which what are you bringing into the world?
Yeah.
What's your character?
Yeah. We are
Right?
truth, our flaws, only us can embrace them. Someone is quoting you, and I love that. Show me your blemishes, and so I can show you my blemishes, right?
Yeah.
The wholehearted love is saying those
Yeah.
body shame Ntsiki have deep-seated issues and they are just projecting. Do you feel like people are always projecting?
A lot. Most of the time. Most.
Yeah. Okay, a lot.
99.9%
Yeah.
of the time.
Who Apiwe is
Yeah.
saying, Ntsiki, stop ignoring me.
Woo, is it the uyangishela.
Who else? Okay, but there's just a lot of love. Let's just move on. And someone is saying, Yempele, people agree with you. But do you not feel like you always project? I mean, sometimes when I look at your tweets, you seem like you're very personal towards certain individuals.
Okay.
Is that now, you know, the Christians would say the Holy Spirit is telling me to tell you kind of vibe. So is that something that happens to you as a poet and as a spiritual being, Uguti? Okay, now you know that this particular one, and on that particular day, I'm
Maybe.
shooting arrows at them.
Perhaps. Because there's even sometimes when I come back and then another tweet comes up and I'm like, fuck, did I tweet that? So I do think a lot of my tweets is a spiritual, because even times when I'm tweeting into wrong, I'll be like, tweet. I'll be like, yeah, I've got the perfect tweet. Then it just won't go. So even me, I'm always like, what's actually happening here? Like, so I do, but I also think that it sometimes it's not entirely personal. It might be that I'm pointing to an industry thing, but this person might embody that thing.
Okay. Do other celebrities call you and like when you've tweeted something about them, do they call you and you're like, yay, I see you said this about me, don't you think?
Give me an example. Give me an example of when I tweet about a celebrity. Like when I said White Capital Creations, I saw Ramaphosa, Bonang, Somizi, and who was the other one? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So that speaks directly to the system. That speaks directly to the system. We know how the president now is unpacking. We can see our eyes are not shut, right? So we can see that even with the sealing of the statements, and we can see that she is funded by white capital. We know that Somizi and Bonang are white capital backed up. So for me, it's like, okay, guys, let's talk about this system, which comes back to, remember when earlier on in this conversation, I spoke about when the people push back and there's a spontaneous someone else that they push up with, you know, we actually like this person. We like Babes Wotum. So for me, it's a call to what do we have parallel? What systems do we have parallel that are pushing our own Black excellence and not Black excellence that is going to not speak to Black issues?
Yeah. I hear
so
you.
It's just example. Remember that these people are famous now. So we can't be like personal about it. These people are out there and this is an example of So you understand? Otherwise we won't talk about issues then. Which will be quite deep.
Yeah, I hear you. And I get you.
Yeah.
But I will be honest with you, it does seem like you're being very personal against certain individuals. It really does seem like that when someone is just looking and not conscious and is not diving deep into broadly what you are saying. It does seem like, why is this one always attacking Ubonang?
Okay, but I think that isn't that the epitome of white capital? Wouldn't be that the person? It's like how people are always talking about a Beyonce. So obviously, if you're as famous as a Beyonce, you're going to be spoken about it more than who's like some other They understand.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it might be juicy because it's me saying it. I think that's where it might be a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, no, but this is the epitome of this thing that we're talking about. When we talk about white capital creations and we talk about how it's smoke and screens, with even that thing where they sell this champagne as Bonang's champagne, but you're like, no, but this is a champagne that was at Woolworths, that was not selling, and then they took Bonang's name and they branded that wine and then sold it as that. So whoever owns the wine and the bottling and everything still owns it. Is it that they named it under that to get a black market? So for me, I'm like, guys, don't confuse the black youth and make them think, Wuti, it's going to happen like that. That's a lie.
Yeah.
The truth is that you're going to need a vineyard. You're going to need capital. You're going to need to know the value chain. You know, Bonang doesn't know the marketing strategy for the thing. She doesn't know. So that's what I'm saying. There's perception and what the media feeds us, and oh, just like this, and oh, you should be like this, but they don't say, Guti, oh, we paid for that event, or we're paying for that car they're driving. So it lies to you were lying to the children and making them seem, Guti, oh, we're getting somewhere, and we're really not getting anywhere. If those contracts ends, those people are going to lose all those things that they have. So what are we as Black people building that's sustainable, so that we're not chasing a carrot that, you know, they think this is nice, glitter, ooh, kanti bafake imali, and it's not the reality for most of us.
I hear you. I think I totally now understand you in that front. Do you always get angry at Black people like I do? You know, because you sound very passionate and your voice changes when you talk about it. Do you find yourself being very angry at Black people?
I'm so frustrated, you know, because I'm like, niggas ain't ready for revolution. Just niggas ain't ready for revolution. Like, people are comfortable. Even this quarantine time, I thought, okay, now we're going to shift things, because there was a lot of chaos, and in chaos, that's when you create moves and shifts. I thought politically we were going to move things. There was going to be a bit of land shifts, a bit of shift in the economy, but nothing. Instead, Abelungu got richer and we got poorer.
Ish. Yeah, that's the reality of things. But now tell me, in terms of proactiveness, do you ever like challenge people? Like, for instance, Kanobani, Bamubita, the Minister of Condolences and Congratulations.
Oh yes.
Do you ever like take out, because I think they would listen to you versus me writing a letter to Natim Teto. Do you
They
like
don't
behind the
they
scenes?
don't listen. They don't listen to me because I'm a real threat. I'm more influential in the arts than the Minister of Condolences. So they don't listen to me. They want to continue stealing and doing corrupt things, because Mina, if you guys put me in there, you know it would be honest. And at the moment, it's all rotten. So the rotten people do not want the honest person inside the ship to come and stop the outflow of money. So no.
Yeah. Oof,
Yeah.
It's tough. It's not inspiring at all to hear stuff like this.
It's
Because I'm
short.
feeling like, if you are influential and you are already a voice in the nation and they don't even listen to you, who am I? At what point do they listen to me?
That's why I'm wondering what's going to happen. What's the natural progression? Because also the people who are in leadership are too old. So when is this thing when the youth take over, and who are the youth leaders, and where we at, and are we talking? And
another question.
I'm listening.
Why are you not in any party? Why are you not part of any?
Because I'm a poet. Because all along I've been a poet, and it's important, if I understand my role correctly, it's important for me to always be on the side of the people. So if any of the political parties are paying me, there's certain things I'm going to have to keep quiet on. So right now, as I stand, I can attack ANC, I can attack EFF, I can attack DA, I can attack whoever I want, you know? So
Yeah.
the way I understand it, an artist and the voice is used for the people and not for political parties.
Got you. Got you.
Yeah.
Your gift cannot be diluted. Your gift cannot be influenced. I get that.
Yeah, it can't be pimped out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know a lot of people would love for you to be part of the EFF because now you are a firecracker and you're like, let's get things done.
We have to respect the feminine energy in EFF. Until that happens, don't
Yeah,
be
I'd love to
tricky.
talk about that, but I won't get into it.
Yeah.
Ooh, Nosi Lonwabo is saying thank you for the live. I know I'm not crazy for loving Ntsiki. Slightly radical is saying South African celebrities don't know what the meaning of celebrity is. Speaking out celebs doesn't mean that you hate them personally. You are simply commenting on the persona. Also, now you don't take it personal when people talk about you, right? Because you understand your platform.
No, I didn't say my name because I'm just like, guys, I can't control that aspect. I can't control how you feel about me. I can't control how you tweet about me. So, again, unless you're atting me, but if you at me and diss me, then I'm just going to block you. But I don't chase it. I don't chase what are people saying about me. No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll get so traumatized.
Okay,
Yo.
cool. Uktebi Mulefa says you are enlightening us. The wholehearted is saying word. Sure, Ntsiki, such truths, girl. I see Waigamu are saying the two of you are similar. Ooh, okay. I always think that the phrase angry black woman is always a way to shut black women up. You really should never apply to Miss Mazwai. It's unoriginal to do that. Yeah, and someone is saying you've always been ahead of the time. You have foresight, which is a great gift, but which is also a burden, right?
Shucks. What's the point of seeing if the other people can't see?
It also frustrates me. It somewhat, I do have a gift myself.
Yeah.
A poet or any of that sort, and I'm not, but I always get frustrated to say, why can't you see it? But I'm telling you words. Why can't
I know, right? And now I get caught up because I'm like, I don't know what people can see or what they can't see. So now I'm learning to just keep quiet until somebody's like, hey, we see this. I'm like, oh, snap, you see it too. Because I'm just like, yo, there's a lot going on. And then you get into trouble also when you see things. So I'm like, yo, it's in too late.
Yeah. I want to read this one comment before I go to my last question. I think it's quite important. Maps in Wasterland is saying the youth is succumbing to the system because they've tasted the crumbs, and so they are going the same route as their predecessors. I think that's sadly true.
I've seen that. Well, we're seeing it.
Yeah. Let me go to my last question, and I'm gonna allow you to close. I don't want Instagram to be the one that shuts down this thing. I want us to close it off. Before you summarize, my husband is always on my case about certain conversations and posts. One of them being my opinions on hair and my dislike of weaves. And he is always saying to me, stop tweeting. People are not conscious enough to have this conversation with you. You are speaking to brick walls. But at the same time, I'm saying, what youth just said, we can't keep quiet. We don't know who sees and who doesn't. We don't know who
that one person. Yeah.
Right?
It's a difficult journey, but it's so important. It's so important when you realize that all the other races in the world, all the women in the world arrive at the table as themselves, except for us. And to arrive somewhere as yourself and to occupy that power because even with our hair, when we sit at the table, no one can compete with it. So when you have the best thing at the table and no one can compete with it, that is just such a powerful thing to have. And I'm just like, black girl, you're running away from your own power. That's insane.
How do we change the message, man? Because, you know, for me,
I
some people are
know.
saying, you just hate weaves and you don't have the money to buy weaves. That's why you say what you say. But like, how do we show people the power? Like, how, like, I don't know, even
I know.
the question, what to ask.
It's still about the media and the programming. So when girls, and even the girls on TV, like on all the soap operas, they're still in weaves. So until we make sure that all the superstars that the little girl is seeing on TV and on magazines have got different kinds of natural hair, then, because the problem is that we'll be having this conversation, but I figure Beyonce, Ashabo, and then she's flick, and then all the work is gone. So it's about being vigilant about that.
Yeah.
Where you're like, it's not allowed. It's not in our culture. It's not allowed. Like just how in China they used to be at the bottom of the food chain. Right now, they're one of the superpowers. And how they did that is that they closed off everything. They closed off the world and just focused on their own culture. They didn't even have things like Christmas, but it was just like, it's China and grooming. And now look where they are. But Tina, for as long as we're chasing other identities and chasing other people, then we're not going to get to be a superpower.
I know, right? And it's depressing. Nah, I will not lie. It's super depressing to know some of these things and to know just how far we are, you know. And just talking on the hair thing, and for someone to tell you that no, it's my preference and my choice of hairstyle, and for someone to say natural hair is not for everyone. How is that grows out of your own scalp, not for you? I always get so confused with that.
It's so insane. Like siyagula. There's a sickness that we haven't confronted as the black girl. And we haven't stood up to mainstream media and said, no, we don't want weaves anymore. So until the black girl globally says we don't want weaves on our TVs and on our magazines, we don't want it, it's not us. It's then angazi.
Hey, Mara, because we don't own the media, I feel like I always feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. Because I'll tell you the truth. And when the whole Clicks and Tresemme thing happened, people were sending me messages and asking me, "Oh, are you not saying anything about this? Did you see the ad?" And for me, and people were shocked to hear me say that I actually rejoiced. I was like, "Hey, wow, thanks, Clicks. You've given us. We've been talking about hair for the longest of time.
Yeah.
You've just given us an opportunity to talk about it nationally. We've been making noise. People were not listening to us. Perhaps now, when you insult them, they will listen."
Yeah. That's what happens. Well, if you don't love yourself, then the rest of the world also won't love you. We've sent out the message that our hair we can't manage it, it's dry, it's damaged. We say it ourselves. So now the marketing people at Clicks have taken what we've said.
So that's why even Mina wasn't angry. I was like, sure, it's racist. They're pitting black against, but is it untrue? Is what they're saying not true? Do you not say your hair is dry? Do you not say your hair is dull?
Exactly.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's burdensome. It's tiring, and I'm imagining in my small space with my circle how exhausting it is to try show people that it's beyond just hair. There's identity linked to this. There's esteem linked to this. There's a power, there's a source, there's spirituality that's linked to this. So if it's exhausting for me, I can only imagine how exhausting it is for you when you have such a big podium.
Angibayekile mina. Sigma Yekile. I've given them, they can have it, it's their choice.
Yeah, sure. Well, especially those that are in my circle, and those that I
Good,
able to
good,
speak to. No, Anyegi Muntu. No, 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 no. I mean, and I
good.
was saying,
But
someone was saying to me, "You are so harsh," and I was like, "Was colonization nice? We
yeah.
were beaten. We were beaten into loving these things. We were
Mm,
mentally whipped to be
mm,
where we are. So maybe it'll take a whipping for you to get it."
mm. Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Anyway,
Anyways.
I didn't see any questions. I saw a lot of comments around how we can. Someone was quoting you, "Black girl, you are running away from your own power." Billionaire DK is saying redefining beauty is exactly about these uncomfortable conversations. Wholehearted Lover is saying, "I think one of the ways we can show our power is to wear our hair naturally and share our beauty through
Yep.
social media." Yeah, we can continue to do that. Even with the clicks thing, and then people started like undoing their things and showing their hair, and I was like, "Yay! Let's
Yeah.
do this daily. Let's do this as normal
Yeah.
practice." Not just to show off,
Yeah.
not to show off and get a response. Because if we do it
Yeah.
and we love it, we embrace it, we will not be offended by clicks. There will be nothing that
Exactly.
offends us.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Someone is asking, how can we improve Black visibility on screen? Hey, that's a tough one because we don't control the media. I'll answer that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I think I've said too much. I think I want you to sort of conclude. Give me your thoughts.
Okay.
And my
Cool.
one
I'm
question
just
is
for
this: what is the one thing? Because I know you. I've already said you are your own person. You stand in your truth, and you don't even need for people to stand with you. You own your narrative. You are clear. You never mince your words, right? And I've said to people when they were asking me, why are you inviting her? And I was like, there's a lot that she can teach women. If we quieten the noise around the persona and listen to her, we might just learn a few things. So just from you, what's the one thing that you want to teach women specifically?
Wow. I think it's about independence, and yeah, independence from men, and the ability to just sustain yourself
Mm-hmm.
and own yourself and own your own power. And because there's a big that narrative with the being a wife and children has been nursed a lot, so naturally we walk in that direction.
Mm.
And I think that my journey is more about teaching women that there's an alternative too. You don't have to do that. If you want, you can also just own yourself, not be a Mrs. Mang Mang, and just own your own surname, your own name and surname, and arrive in the world as yourself and navigate the world as yourself, by yourself, uh, without compromising yourself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to repeat what she just said. If I'm to put it in 2 words, she said, do you and be proud of who you
Yeah.
are, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Before I close it off, let me read this one final comment, which I absolutely agree with. She says, Ntsiki, you are a compliment to South Africa. You are our icon.
Oh, thank you.
And someone is saying, thank you for the conversation. It's extremely insightful. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you that you enjoyed the conversation. I certainly did. I have never hidden the fact that I love Ntsiki. I disagree with her on some things, but I mostly agree with her on a lot of things. So yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for your time, Miss Mazwai.
Thanks, Kamo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And thank you
everybody.
so much for sending me the Redefine Beauty sweater for my
Yay!
40th birthday.
You're
Thank you. I
welcome.
wear it all the time. Thank you so much. And thanks for everybody who joined in on the conversation.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. These conversations are happening every week on Wednesday. And I'm here 7 p.m. every Wednesday. Do join the conversation. I'll be having different guests. Look out for our next guest. I usually post about it on Mondays. Send your questions up front. Please share. Please like. Please follow our page. Please invite other people to be part of these conversations, because this platform is created for us to engage. This platform is created for us to talk, to have these uncomfortable conversations, especially ones that affect women. You know, we need to be talking beauty, we need to be talking body positivity and everything. Our annual shoot is happening on the 31st of October in Johannesburg. It's only 600 rands a person. I would love for all of you to come be part of it. As you have heard, Ntsiki Mazwai is going to be joining us for the shoot this year, and I'm super excited for that. Thank you for joining. Love and light to everyone, and good evening.